Okay, let's finish the daf. We're on Avodah Zarah Chaf Ches Amud Beis, 28b. We're talking about a lot of medical issues here. So Rabbi Yaakov Chosh Befika. It says Rabbi Yaakov, he had, would seem to be hemorrhoids. Even though there's a different word the Bible uses, Rabbi Ami Varmal Rabbi Yasi Arile Leite Shavene Ahalo Telana. So Rav Ami told him, or some say Rav Asi told him, he should take 7 red aloe seeds. Aloe, it sounds like it seems to be a cognate. V'tzayer le b'chlala devei tzavara. V'lich v'chalav near barka. V'tamish le b'nafta chivara. V'lid l'kei. V'dar le ilave. So he said, you take, when you make the opening in the neck, you have to cut out a piece of it to make an opening in the neck for a shirt. That cloth that was taken out of the shirt should wrap it up with the aloe and some animal hair and white tar or white with kerosene, and you should, with a little case, you should light it on fire. Take the ashes and put it on the where the pain is. And in the meantime, take the fruit of the thorn bushes and place it there where the pain is. Again, the fruit of the thorn bushes looks like that area of the body, and that's why it seems like there's some connection. Again, we find this in other traditional medicines, not only in the Jewish tradition, but in other traditions as well have the same folk remedies, that if something looks similar to something else, that it can help heal it. And maybe it works, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a folk doctor either, I'm not a witch doctor. But Mile Pika Ila Pika Taton Mai. Question is, what if it's only in the outside of the area? What if it's in the inside of the area? Lighty tarbid it's fear to the layaf sach, flipasher, flishde bay. Bring goat fat from a goat that never gave milk, melt it over the heat, and smear that ointment there inside. V'loy light tlas tarfa kora the ibashtik betula, v'liklay. V'vadar ilave, v'loy light mashkadei chelzoine, v'loy mais mashach kira, v'likait b'mashach ake the chitana b'kaita v'damer gufna b'sisva. What if you can't get the goat fat? Bring 3 gourd leaves that have been dried in the shade and burn those and spread the ashes there. And if you don't, you can use shells from a shellfish, like a mussel, a snail shell, ground that into a powder. If you can't find that, bring wax oil, wrap in the rags of flax cloth during the summer and cotton during the fall or the winter, and that'll cool it off. Babylonian Rabbi had ear pain. Rabbi Yechanan told him how to heal, or some say Rabbi who learned in the Bismedrash in the yeshiva. So what did they tell him? What heals ear pain? I'm going to just go through this quickly because I don't think it's I don't know how medically sound these things are. So I still believe it's a mitzvah to learn and to read these things, and but I don't know how useful they are. So let's just read it quickly. Kihad Amar Abai. This is what Abai said. Armaliem. He said, my mother told me, but it wasn't actually, it was his adopted mother. It wasn't his birth mother, and that's what he called his mother, because his mother died in childbirth. Like Ibre Kulyasa Elo Udna. And a lot of times in Chazal, Abaye talks about his mother, his mom, who adopted him. Like Ibre Kulyasa Elo Udna. Kidneys were created just for a remedy for ears. Meaning, what does that mean? This is meaning we have organ meats from kosher animals and use that. Amarava Amali Manyumi Asya. Manyumi was a doctor. He told me this. Kulhu Shakyane Kashu Udna Lavar Mimai de Chulyasa. This is actually at least partially medically sound. That usually if you put water or liquids in the ear, you could get swimmer's ear, all kinds of pain. However, kidney juice, kidney fluid, when you roast the kidneys, what comes out, that liquid, that's good for the ears. Laite kulyasa devarcha karcha. So he said you bring a kidney from a hairless goat. When you say hairless, it doesn't mean it doesn't have hair, but it doesn't have wool like a sheep. So all goats are called this karcha. They're called bald, but they're not really bald. They really have hair. V'likrei shesi ve'erev, v'linach milala denura, v'han humay denavke menayu, lishtinu be'udna. So you take the goat kidney, cut it, make an X on it to cut it, put it on, roast on some coals, and take the liquid that comes out and put that in his ears. And it shouldn't be, you shouldn't wait till it's all the way cold, and you shouldn't give it when it's still hot, but it should just be lukewarm. If you cannot find goat kidneys, you should bring the fat of a large, it translates it here as a scarab, which is a type of bug. I don't know they have fat on them, but and melt that and pour it in the ear. Again, you're not eating it, so it doesn't have to be kosher. The aspasta, Velete shufsa de suma, Vlesif barka bechadresha, Velisle behunura, Vidachresha maisva, Udna, Vlesif udne lahadanura. If you can't get this bug fat, you should fill the ear canal with oil, maybe olive oil. Put 7 wicks out of green wheat stalks and dried garlic leaves. Tie them with animal hair on the end of each wick. Light them on fire. And put the other end of the wick in the ear. And you should put his ear near the fire. Mizdar mizika. But you should be careful not to be anywhere where it's drafty. Shouldn't let wind go into the ear. You should wear earmuffs, I guess. Nishkol chad v'nada chada. You should take out one wick and put another until all 7 are used up. Lish nachrina. Another version. V'iloi. V'teshab silasa bikra. V'shayef le'mishcha das pasta. V'naite l'chad reisha benura v'chad reisha be'udna. Nishkol chada v'nana chada. V'yizdar mizika. If he can't do this, he should bring 7 animal hair wicks, put them in balsam oil, set one side of the wick on fire and put the other in the ear, and take out one wick and put the other until he used all 7. Also keep out of the wind. V'iloi If that doesn't work, laite udara the nada le mashakif and anachbe lisle leudne lahade nura lizdar mizika. Should bring violet wool that wasn't combed, but it was dyed violet. Put in the ear and put his ear near the fire, but also be careful of wind. Viloi laite gufta the kanya tika barmashnin. Vilmayu Mikhail Milcha Golonisa Vlikle Vlidabek. You should get 100-year-old reed, a tube made out of 100-year-old reed, fill up with salt, salt it, and burn it, and put the mixture in his ear. Simonach Retiva Levishta, Vishta Retiva. In any event, how, in general, when you want to heal people, and this makes sense, it's sensible that you have moist cures for dry afflictions of dryness, and dry cures for afflictions of moistness. I mean, if the ear is dry, you put in the oil. If the ear has too much fluid, you have some kind of a powder. Amar Rabba bar Zutra, Amar Rabbi Chanina, Malon is 9 b'Shabbos. Tani Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda b'Yad avolei b'Sam, Kedam Rav B'Sam avolei b'Yad, my time of Mizrif Zarif. If an ear is like out of the way, and it could cause the jaws to become dislocated, you can fix that on Shabbos because it could be a permanent injury. And that's Rabbi Rezuchis and Rabbi Chanina. Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda said you could do by hand but not with medicine, but others say you could do with medicine not by hand. And the reason why they say not to do by hand is that it could make the wound worse, and that would be breaking Shabbos. Medication is no biblical prohibition, it's a rabbinical prohibition, and it might not be as serious enough to, since it's not life or death, can you break Shabbos to do it rabbinically? Yes, and biblically not. Amar Rav Zutra bar Tevi Amar Rava in Shemar de Mutu L'cheichel b'Shabbos Savr Minei Hani Mili Huda Shchike B'Simonim Esmol Mishchak V'Shabbos Tzui Derech Rishus Rabim Loi. Rav Zutra bar Tevis and Rav Rav would have put about someone's eye is like busting out of the socket. You can put medicine on it, even on Shabbos, because you might lose the eye. And he thought that it was only if you're not actually breaking Shabbos. The medicine is already before Shabbos. But to grind the medicine on Shabbos and carry it on Shabbos, that you can't do. It's only if he has it. Rabbi Yankov Shmuel Didi Mefarsh Minei the Rav Yehuda Fil Mishchak B'Shabbos V'Tuya Derech Rishus Rabim Mutter. That's what Zutra B'Tovia thought, but then one of the rabbis named Rabbi Yankov told him that Rav Yehuda taught that an eye popping out of the socket is such a dangerous thing that you can even break Shabbos, even if it means you're grinding the herbs on Shabbos, even if it means you're carrying on Shabbos. In the Rishus Rabbim, you can even do deraisa because it's life or death. You can even violate biblical prohibitions. If Yehuda Shar L'Michal Eina B'Shabbos, Amalahu Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda Man Sayis LeYehuda Machal Shabbe L'Seif Chosh Beinei Shalach Le Shari Asir Shalach Le L'Chuli Alma Shari L'Didach Asir. Interesting story. So Rav Yehuda held that you're allowed to put medicine on an eye on Shabbos. So if Shmuel bar Yehuda, I'm not sure if that's his son or just a son of someone else named Yehuda, he said whoever listens to him, you can assume it's not his son because he's calling him by the first name. He said whoever follows Yehuda is breaking Shabbos. So in the end, Rav Shmuel had this eye condition, and he asked Rav Yehuda, can I medicate it on Shabbos? And Rav Yehuda said, Everyone else can, but not you, because you said you're not allowed to. You have to follow your own ruling. Who? Mar Shmuel. And it wasn't my own idea. Mar Shmuel taught this. The Amsa the Havai by Mar Shmuel the Kadcha le Eina b'Shabsa. Savcha v'leika l'ashkachba. Paka Eina l'macher nafak Mar Shmuel v'darish. Ayin shenarda muta l'chaychel b'Shabs. My time the Shuryana the Eina b'vanta the Liba tlu. Because it was a story that Mar Shmuel saw. He had a girl working in his house, and her eye got all swollen, and she was crying out in pain, and everyone was like, it's Shabbos, it's not life or death. So we can't treat it. And then her eye burst, so the next day Mar Shmuel said, now you could see it, an eye is a serious enough thing, because the eyesight is connected to the muscles in the heart, which would seem to indicate that it's already a life or death situation. So we're talking about here. Amar Yehuda Kohen Rira, Ditza, Dema, Demasa, V'Kidcha. What can you treat? What kind of eye disease can be treated on Shabbos? If it has a lot of discharge coming out, if it has a stabbing pain, if it's all bloody in the eye, if there's too much tears, or if it's swollen. It's chilas uchla, puki seif uchla, upatsuche eina delay. So that's only right at the beginning to save the eye and all these things. If it just started on Shabbos, you could. But if you already started the treatment and it's pretty much healed and there's only a little bit of pain, that in the old days wouldn't be allowed to do on Shabbos. Remember, we said though that Rav Ovadia Yosef said that today, if you're not actually grinding the medicine, you are allowed to take regular medication on Shabbos. Smearing might be an issue, but most likely that you could also find the heter, or if it's delay, or if it's just to improve the vision, but you could see and it's not, then you can't do that on Shabbos. It would seem that's only in the old days. Maybe nowadays, if we have already prepared medication, it might be okay. Number of Yehuda Zibura, Udecharze, Silva, V'Simta, Udechoiv Leena, V'Asilavayishta, Klub Bebani Sakanta. So Yehuda said if you were stung by a hornet, or your skin was pierced by a thorn, or you have a blister, or you have eye pain, and then you have a fever caused by that, if you bathe, it's going to raise your temperature even more, and it could be life-threatening. So don't bathe if one of those things lead to a fever. So chama la chama. So now a few things that are beneficial. They're good for some things and bad for other things. So radish cures fevers. Vasilka latsina. Beets cures cold, chills. Chlufa sakanta. But if you do the opposite, you have a radish for a chill or a beet for a fever, that could be dangerous. Chamim, and it's interesting. Chama lachama. Here, radish is called chama, and which is similar to chama, to the heat. Chamimi lakraba. As if someone's skinned by a scorpion, they should get a hot compress. If someone's stung by a hornet, though, you should have a cold compress. But the opposite is dangerous. If you put cold on a scorpion or hot on a hornet, that's dangerous. Chamim silva, ukrire l'chaspanisa. Well, that's the end of our daf. That if you you should put hot water on a thorn and cold water on a facial scab. And the opposite is dangerous. One thing you should know about thorns: those thorns can be, since they are organic in nature, they can get infected quite easily if they stay in there. So you have to remove the thorn. But I think it's talking about the wound after the thorn was removed. And you should have vinegar after bloodletting, and you should eat small fish, which is considered very nutritious. Those should be eaten after fasting, but the opposite is dangerous. Vinegar after fasting and small fish after bloodletting is dangerous. The next daf is going to talk more about bloodletting, which was a very common medical procedure in ancient times. So in 28b, I thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and all the best.